Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today I have some new information to share with all of you. But first, let me set the tone. So, if you didn't notice, my second most recent video covering all of the content we can expect for the early access launch of Coral Island sort of blew up. I don't know what happened, but it is at over 40,000 views now, so thank you. But I think this video may have potentially grabbed the attention of Stairway Games, and it looks like they're watching me. So let me just take a moment to say hello, Stairway Games. I love you very much. I'm so excited for Coral Island, and I see you. So before I get ahead of myself here, let's just start with where it all started for me, which was taking a look at the latest announcement made on the Discord on September 29th that stated the next blog update will be published before the embargo lift on October 9th at midnight UTC. However, they don't know just yet when exactly it'll be, since I was expecting some sort of update, and that update did not yet come. You know what I did? I decided there's something out there for me to find. There's something out there, okay? I don't know what it is yet. I don't know where it's coming from, but there's something in the realm of Coral Island that I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna share it with my community. So just out of curiosity, I went back to the Steam page and I couldn't help but notice that many of the points there had been reorganized and slightly amended. So I wanted to update all of you on those amendments and changes, since most of you probably watched the 40K viewed video, right? Like, I'm giving y'all the information, and now some of it's slightly different. So I am gonna make sure I fill you in on all of those changes. So some of this was just rewritten and organized a little bit, I guess, nicer. At present, the early access version includes the first year of the game with 4 playable seasons. That's the same, just worded differently. We can introduce ourselves to the world with storyline quests. That's the same, no changes here. Interestingly here, this point, farm, ranch, craft, and build friendships through a comprehensive relationship system. The engaging combat has been snatched from this bullet point and has been moved down here, which we'll get to in a moment. We can still catch fish, insects, and underwater ocean critters, meet over 70 unique characters, most of whom you can befriend. These are all the same. Mine the earth and water shafts in the cavern, same here. Donate items to the museum, that's the same. Decorate and customize your player house and farm, the same. Much more the same. But look at how many fewer points are here, right? You see that? Let's just flash back to my screen cap from the last video. You can see the difference, right? I instantly noticed as soon as I saw it. I was like, this is formatted differently. So what they've done here is they've shared the playable features and content, and then they've separated that from the features and content that are in active development. So I think they're trying to temper our expectations for the features here to say, like, these are not fully complete. They're still very much in active development, so please bear with us. That kind of a vibe, okay? So we can definitely even more precisely gauge our expectations now that they've given this amendment. So what's included here is the winter season, actually. They've gone out and stated that the winter season is receiving significant enhancements over early access, so please pardon the dust in the meantime. So that's definitely very interesting. I'm wondering if maybe conceptually they're kind of playing around with the winter season, since, you know, it's on a tropical island. There wouldn't normally be snow in this setting, so I'm wondering if they're trying to conceptually figure out how that's gonna work in a way that's, you know, designed in an aesthetically pleasing manner that kind of brings together both tropical elements and those winter vibes. So that could make perfect sense to me why this one might be, you know, a little bit work in progress compared to the other seasons. So they've also moved down this explore and dive the 10 meter and 20 meter depths to be in this category of features in active development. This makes perfect sense to me because, as I've stated many times before, they have completely kind of overhauled and revamped the diving experience. So that definitely, I'm imagining, put their timeline behind for the diving components of the game. So that's definitely something worth noting as well. Then what I previously stated, the combat in the caverns has been moved down to this category as well. Expect the combat system to still be very much in active development, work in progress, something that's probably still needing a lot of player feedback and attention. There may also only be, you know, some monsters implemented versus the future types that they plan to include, or it could be the mechanics themselves still need to be fleshed out. Maybe the looting system is still work in progress. We'll find out when we get into the caves. I also don't know, I haven't seen anywhere whether or not we'll be able to disable combat for early access. We definitely will be able to disable combat according to the developers ultimately, but I haven't seen a clarification on whether or not that's for early access or for the full release. So I'm very curious to answer that question for myself once I get into the game, because although I want to experience the combat, I definitely would also like to have like peaceful mining experiences too. They also moved down attend a festival for each season to this category. Perhaps this is indicating that some of the festivals that we can attend are more complete than others. I definitely think, for instance, the Cherry Blossom Potluck Festival will be quite well fleshed out, perhaps compared to a festival that comes later in the season, like maybe the Mooncake Festival or the Winter Festival. Those ones might be a little bit more incomplete, but we will still be able to attend them and kind of figure out the main gist of what that festival has to offer. So definitely keep that in mind as well. And then finally, they've also added the unlock up to 3 heart event cutscenes per NPC. I mean, just the fact alone that we're going to be meeting over 70 unique characters, most of whom we can befriend, means that they have a lot of heart event cutscenes to take care of and implement. So I'm guessing that most of them will be implemented. There may be some that are more finished than others. There may be some that potentially might not trigger, or you might have, you know, a few challenges triggering, right? Because that's part of what they'll be testing, are the trigger events. That is something that I think should be expected anyway, you know, with that many characters. That's something that is a huge undertaking for them. So definitely look at that piece as being a bit more in active development than maybe some of the other content. And then the final thing that they actually changed, which I did not actually include in my last video, but I do have the audio of me talking about it. Here it is.
I also wanted to add that there is a note on the Steam page actually about the timeline for early access. So I was estimating 6 months to a year personally, thinking that it would probably be the year mark for how long the game will be in early access before the full release. And they've actually stated that they're expecting to launch the full 1.0 version of Coral Island about 12 to 20 months after its initial release into early access.
So yeah, I ended up cutting that out for sake of time, and I plan to just do a separate video talking about the timeline and all that. But they have actually changed this note, and it now says that Coral Island will be in early access until we, the developers, and you, our early supporters, are happy with the amount of content and level of polish the game has to offer. And then they further stated that they expect the phase to take about 1 year, but it may take longer depending on player feedback. So to please continue to check their roadmap for more information. So knowing that the 12 to 20 months was being more conservative and that their actual expectations are that it should take a year is really great news to me. It's really hard to estimate a timeline for something like this. I've said it so many times on the channel, but just so much goes into the early access process. There are so many variables that the team cannot account for. I'm sure there are some aspects of the game that they are already anticipating will need either additional work, or they might be expecting to receive feedback on and potentially change. But there are so many game elements that they might not foresee that the community will submit feedback for. There will be unexpected bugs, and anything can happen in development. So it's really hard to give a specific timeline when they are planning to work so collaboratively with players, right? So it makes perfect sense, but it is really cool to see that their expectation is 1 year. So if everything goes according to plan, we can expect the full version a year from now. So I just wanted to put out the amended information, especially since so many people saw the last video, to further adjust your expectations and kind of have an idea of what is more in development versus other aspects of the game that are more complete. Plus, we have more information on the timeline for early access, so that is super exciting, and I'm very pleased with the projection that they're giving. And while I have you here, I will also give a small announcement that I will be streaming a pre-show 30 minutes before the embargo lifts, which for me is on October 8th at 4:30 p.m. PST. So that's 30 minutes before the 5 o'clock time for the embargo lifting. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna get hype. We're gonna say RIP to all the games we used to play that we won't be playing any longer. And I just thought it'd be nice to kind of settle into the stream before pressing play, you know? Could be a little overwhelming to just jump straight into the game. So I'm excited for that. I hope to see many of you there. I'll give another reminder. Make sure you're on the Discord if you do not want to forget, because I will ping you. I will ping you and I will let you know that we're going live. And I am so excited that we're in the final stretch. So as always, I look forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments below. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And until next time, take care. And a very special thanks to Mandy, Meredith, Formodus, Samur, Tansy, Cisco, and Tier, my Sunstone members. I love you all, and thank you so much for your support. It really helps to make all of this possible and means the world to me.